Hi, this is Ms. Cox here, and we are going to be finishing up your presentations right now. So first of all, you should be done at this point before watching this video. You should be done with your initial rough draft of your presentation. So as for our standards, we've talked about these first four in detail. Today, as we finish up your presentation, we're going to talk about capitalization standard 8.5, 8.6 animation, and 8.8 auto advancing slides. So first, go to your PowerPoint. Let's take a look at your PowerPoint. So here's mine. Mine is done. The first thing we're going to do is actually double check capitalization. And you're probably going to have to pause the video to do this. But basically, you need to make sure that for each of your titles, your keywords are capitalized. So here, geologist is capitalized. My name is capitalized. If I go down to education, keywords are capitalized. Bachelor's degree is the formal title of the degree, that's capitalized. The major is the formal name of the major, that would be capitalized. Different examples, make sure you're capitalizing universities, make sure you capitalize people's names, and make sure you're capitalizing courtesy. And if you have bullet points like this, you should have the first letter after the bullet point capitalized, but not the second word or the other words if you have other words after the bullet point, unless they are formal titles, like in a sentence. But make sure when you have titles, both your keywords or more than one keyword is capitalized, okay, are capitalized. So that's capitalization. Double check, make sure your capitalization is professional. I will say I do have, instead of having a normal title for this, I actually have a question. If your title on a slide is a full question or full sentence, you should not capitalize every word. So only capitalize every word if you have a phrase or a couple of keywords in your title. If you write a full question or sentence, you should not capitalize every word. Treat it like it's a normal sentence and only capitalize the first word. But make sure you use punctuation at the end. Alright, let's talk about animation. That's more fun. So I'm just going to go to my first slide for a second, and you'll see there's a couple of tabs up here. There's one for transitions and one for animations. Now, the animations tab is actually for individually animating different parts of a specific slide. The fact is, you don't need to do that. It's a waste of time, and a little animation is fine. The only animation you really need to use is a transition animation. So click on the Transitions tab instead of the Animations tab. You don't need to do crazy animations unless you're making a PowerPoint for little kids and you have to entertain them. So for you guys, you're going to make a professional presentation. So you need to click on the Transitions tab. And you need to pick one of these transitions for all of your slides. You don't want a different one on every slide. That looks unprofessional. So pick one. I'm going to go with Fade. That's really simple. It'll give you a little preview of what that looks like. And then once you're done with that and you've picked your option, click here on Apply to All. You also want to make sure here the duration is very short. This is in seconds, so you remember you probably want it to be 1 second or less. If it goes on for a really long time, remember your slides are only up for 15 seconds, so that will cut into your slide time. Now, you'll notice there are a lot of crazy effects down here. One of them is honeycomb. It looks really cool. It is not a good option for your presentations. The thing is, you want to have simple animation. The animation should not distract from your presentation. You'll also notice here that for the honeycomb, it suggests having 4 seconds for the transition, and that's a lot of your slide time. So stick with something really basic. Don't do some crazy vortex, effect. There's lots of crazy ones here. That's super distracting. People are just going to be staring at your animation. Pick something basic. I'd stick with these first ones. Fade is a really good one. It's professional. It's simple. Gets the job done. Push works. That is also a really good option. But keep your duration short. Try to keep it around 1 second or less. So let's say I've chosen Fade. And my duration's good. Click Apply to All. That will make that transition apply to every slide so you don't have to individually go and change each slide. The next thing you need to do is select all your slides. So to do that, you can either click and then hold down Shift to select more than one slide, but honestly the easiest way is to click over here on one slide and then press Control A. And you'll see that all your slides will be selected when you do that. Control A. Here's what you need to do. To set up Auto Advance, it's here in Transitions on the right hand side where it says Advanced Slide. It says on mouse click or there's an after button. We want to select the after button and you're going to set this to 15 seconds. Use the up arrow, that's 1 second, 2 seconds, and keep going up until it says 15. Oop, too far. So just keep in mind the middle number here is in seconds. The number to the right here, these two zeros on the right, they are milliseconds, so don't worry about those. Make sure it says 00, 15, 00. That means that your slides are going to advance every 15 seconds, okay? Which is what you want. Now, if you click off to your other slides, you should see that it still stays at 15 seconds because you selected all the slides. So just make sure when you set Auto Advance here, you press Control A so all your slides are highlighted. That way, when you change it, it'll change it all at once. Okay. Now, most important, you've done all these steps. We have covered capitalization, animation, and Auto Advance. Okay. Now, you need to start practicing. Make sure you save your work, and then what I would do is spend some time practicing. Now, there's a couple of different ways to start the presentation. You can click down here. There's a little button that says Slideshow. It looks like a little slideshow presentation. It's right next to the zoom in and out. You can click on that and it will automatically go into your presentation like this. The positive of that is it will start on whatever slide you have currently selected. So if you're midway through your presentation and you want to practice the middle slides, then go ahead and use that so you can start from the middle. Now, to get out of that, you just press Escape, and then you can also go up here to Slideshow, and you can also just click on the From Beginning, and it will actually just start from the first slide, no matter which slide you have selected. So now, you know how to practice your presentation, you just need to do it. So make sure you save your work. You should be practicing at home over the weekend, and definitely practice every day, a little bit at home if you can. But right now, in class, spend the rest of your time practicing your presentation at your desk. I know it's strange talking to your computer by yourself, but the more you do it and the more you just run through your presentation, practicing what you're going to say on every slide, the more comfortable you'll be next week when you actually give your presentation. So practice, 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 and try to think about some of those different rules in the homework that it told you about. Deep breathing when you're practicing if you're nervous, and also make sure you're eating. It is important to make sure you eat food even if you're nervous. Okay? And with that, I am done with this presentation. So practice, practice, practice. Thank you very much.